G'day, my name's David Roberts from GippSport, here to do a presentation for you today. Hoping to get through it. It's very difficult talking to a computer screen and doing this recording, but we'll try and get through it without too many ums and ahs and make it as easy as we can. So the focus of our presentation is on engaging Aboriginal communities in Gippsland to promote healthy lifestyles. When we started the program back in 2014-15, around about that time, we were given this program logic from the department, and from this our program grew. Now, we're happy to provide this document to anyone that'd like it, so certainly give us a call or an email at GippSport and we can help you out with that. Basically, it provided the structure from where we started the program. It looked at our outputs of being a video a week, obviously promoting healthy lifestyles and health benefits to the community. And our impacts in short term, we're measuring the reach of those across our social media platforms, and the longer term outcome was to increase life expectancy among the Aboriginal communities and obviously decrease some of those rates there of chronic disease, tooth decay and overweight and obesity. Broadly, the program aimed to deliver a population-based health promotion social marketing campaign that reached a large proportion of the Gippsland Aboriginal community. The aim was to improve healthy lifestyle factors which related to prevalence of chronic disease, cancer and other health conditions. And again, as we mentioned, ultimately increase life expectancy. Rather than call ourselves Sport and Health Social Marketing Strategy, we very quickly became known as Deadly Sport Gippsland. Originally, the aim was to actually create content to go on other people's channels, but it was evident that we needed our own brand and our process to get that information out. As you can see there, we are auspiced by GippSport and funded by the Department of Health and Human Services, so state government, and through the Koolin Balit project. So the key health messages when we started, we looked at obviously choose healthy, and that was looking at increasing the amount of water consumption and fruit and vegetables within the community. The Be Smoke Free campaign, obviously quitting and cutting back on tobacco use. Get Checked revolved around the 715 health campaigns. And then we also had a physical activity component, which was get active for 30 minutes a day. And that was, again, campaigns that we ran through the program. So social media is an effective way to engage the Aboriginal communities. And certainly our program has shown this, as some of these pictures here flash in there. You can see there the reach and the views of some of our video. Some of these were early days, but certainly social media has been well taken up by the Aboriginal community, and something that people all have mobile phones. They're using those regularly, and it's certainly been effective to get that message out. I think one of the McNairn report from 2014 said that 70% of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders owned a smartphone, and obviously that's one of the central uses for a smartphone is to check your social media. In terms of Facebook, Facebook has been one of our key areas. So there you can see that 62% of adult Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people use Facebook on a daily basis. This is a 2014 figure, so it's very likely that that has increased considerably since that time, and that compares to 42% of the adult Australians nationally. In terms of our own Facebook page, since we began in July 2014, we've increased steadily to being over 2,500. I think we're about 2,717, it says there. So that's currently in July 2017. Our gender breakdown within the people that like our page, we've got 62% of those are women, 37% male, and obviously our biggest target audience there is women between 25 to 44 years of age. When we look at who we reach, it's a little bit more balanced there. So what that suggests is that the men aren't liking the page, but they're seeing the content through shares and likes of other people. So that's a great balance. Some of that's been benefited from our Indigenous rounds, where we've highlighted a lot of football players and football being played over that NAIDOC week. And that certainly increased our reach to men during that time. Engagement again, and see, we haven't got this graph up to date, but the peak there from engagement is around July 2016, so NAIDOC week last year, where our engagement skyrocketed because we had a lot of videos, a lot of content around the NAIDOC week events. But as you can see, the engagement has increased as the likes have increased as well. Just a quick look at the engagement by type. I think we're using video very effectively, that our average reach there is 5,500 people. When you look at the Aboriginal population in Gippsland, that's considerable. Obviously, people that our posts and video reach aren't all just Aboriginal people. A lot of other people look at that, but video has been the driving force behind our engagement, followed by photos, shared video, and then links. So these are examples of some of the campaigns that we've actually run as they've come in there. So again, you can see on some of those the reach, etc. But certainly video, photographs, and our blogs have been the key ways of getting people active. As well as that, we've also run a lot of competitions within the community as well that has increased that. At the time of doing this, putting this together, you can see there the amount of views that we'd had on YouTube and Facebook. It's very hard to compare those two. YouTube, I think, is more quality views. People who watch our videos on YouTube tend to watch more of them. On Facebook, there's an autoplay feature, obviously, and people will see those videos, whether they watch 3 seconds of them, it counts as a view. So there may not be quality views. This is something that we want to use in our advantage in the future. We're trying to put together 5 to 10 second health messages at the start of videos, so that we'll try and capture and utilize that quite significant amount of views there in the 2.5 years since we've been operational. So these were in terms of our Facebook views, these were the ones that were highest at the moment. So the ones that are bold are the ones that have a purely health focused component. The other videos may have some health messaging in there. They may have a commercial at the start, but they were general content videos. So we've got a lot of Indigenous rounds one there, a young football player that spoke to us. Then we've got our what happens when you cook Coke, which was a bit of fun. A video which I think I'll show a little bit of shortly. And then you can also see a couple of other ones there finished off at the bottom with, do you care about our mob? Join the 715 health check. So that, again, good to see those in there. What we do is some of those health related videos and content that we put out, we use targeted advertising. And for people that don't know about target advertising, it's certainly worth having an understanding of that. The example on the screen there is targeting a geographic area of Morwell, people 40 to 65, and then we can use some keywords around Aboriginal Australians, Indigenous Australians, and Koori there. And we get that potential reach to 1900 when it would have started off a lot more than that. So targeted advertising, we're paying to make sure that our content gets put in front of people, but we can choose who that goes in front of, and that's been one of the strategies, I guess, that we've used to ensure that our messages are getting to the right people. Sport has played a major part of our program, so it's a great platform for health promotion. We certainly know that a lot of people have an interest in sport within the Aboriginal communities. Carnivals, for example, are huge within the community, as are some of the sporting heroes that are around there. The reason that we use sport is, people pick up a newspaper, for example, to read the content. They read the sports section, they read the news, and then they see the advertising in there. So we certainly, to sell the health message, we wanted people to like our page. We wanted people to engage with what we do, and sport played a central role of creating that health promotion event. And it's no different, I guess, on the ground. If you're running a carnival, you're promoting health messages at that carnival. We were doing the same thing online. So again, here's some good examples of some of those videos that we've put there. You can see the numbers of reach there. Some of those are 17,000, the one in the middle there, with 6,000 views of that video. The one on the right with Toby Radford, 8,000 people reached, 3.7 thousand views. So again, you can see that considerable amount of interest in the sport aspect of that. So here's a couple of sample videos. Hopefully these play.
The 5th of August is our Churchill Football Netball Club Indigenous round. So we're versus Gormandale. It's a home game at Gascon Park in Churchill.
It's important for us because it recognises the significant contribution that the Indigenous people have played in this football club.
We're educating the wider community about the importance of acknowledging the traditional custodians of this country, and also to encourage Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders to come out and join the club if they're interested in playing footy or netball.
So that was just a bit of a quick example there. You saw the very quick ad there promoting water and the Drink Water UMob campaign. Here's another video that we had that was quite popular with...
Hi guys, it's Lisa from Deadly Sport Gippsland. We've got Juliet from Wonthaggi here with us today, and thank you for being with us. And it's at the graduation for the real program. And do you want to have a bit of a yarn to us about what's been happening this week?
Yep, so this week's been a great experience for the KGI program. Like, we've learnt so much about confidence and learnt about our culture and everyone's culture, and to be proud of ourselves and where we've come from. And,
Yeah, no, that's been awesome. And do you want to tell us a bit about your journey experience and what the highlights have been of being part of the real program?
So the highlights was last night we did hip hop, and everyone stood out of their comfort zone, got in a circle in front of everyone and had a dance. We did a session on just like learning about each other's cultures, where we're from, and yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, no.
So you get the idea again, and a young role model there that's great to be seen out there. The video did quite well, and she goes on to talk about her journey in health as well as in sport, which is really important as well, and snuck some of the health messages in there that way. So some of the benefits of being involved in sport and recreation, and I think it's important to note, so it's beyond the health messages that we do, but we've raised the profile of Indigenous athletes, we've increased attendance at events, we've certainly promoted inclusive clubs around the Indigenous rounds in 2017 and 2016. Up until recently, we ran some event grants and sponsorships, so we're actually able to assist on the ground with sponsorship money towards running events, and that was a great way to buy in some health message as well. We've also helped build some capacity within social media and video production, and actually provide some coverage of some of the events that we've been to as well. And we've also provided a role of sharing information and best practice across the region. So in the past, there may not have been a great knowledge about what was happening in East Gippsland, what was happening in West Gippsland, but through some of our videos, people have certainly been able to see what other areas are doing, and even across the state for that matter. So moving on to health, the real key message is to whether people change their health attitudes and behaviours as a result of social marketing campaigns. And this is, I guess, the core of what we're trying to do, is promote healthy behaviour change within the Aboriginal community, and we want to know whether that works. We had a formal evaluation done by the Australian Catholic University, and those research papers are available on the GippSport website. So you can certainly click over there, look on the programs and the Deadly Sport Gippsland page, and you'll see some of the interim and certainly the final reports there as well. So of the research, we certainly want to have a look at two campaigns here. We had small numbers, but the Bespoke Free campaign that looked at 28 people, it found that of all those people who smoked, said they had thought about reducing or quitting. So that was 5 out of 5 people. 75% reported talking with someone else about reducing or quitting smoking, so 21 out of 28 people. And 75% of those who smoked reported reducing or quitting smoking. Now, again, recognise that they are small numbers, but the indication is there that people are thinking about it, people are acting on the messages that they see on our social media campaigns. The Choose Healthy campaign, 61% thought about changing their drinking or eating habits. Almost half reported talking to somebody else about changing their eating and drinking habits. And 39% reported changing their eating and drinking behaviours as a result of that campaign. So indications are there that that's really positive. The evaluation also found that our social marketing campaigns would be enhanced by more formative work. So identifying meaningful messages and communication techniques up front, testing those within the communities, and making sure that our messages were on point. Creating partnerships and collaboration with state and local Aboriginal agencies would benefit our campaigns as well. as well as so would increasing resources for merchandise and advertising in mainstream media. There's something that was lacking was some of those hands-on resources of posters and flyers and, you know, maybe hats and things like that we might be able to give away. The campaigns that worked well were campaigns where we worked with statewide campaigns and we provided local content. So we did a couple of campaigns there with the Aboriginal Quit Line, as well as the Drink Water You Mob campaign with VATCHO. So what we did there is we took messaging that had come from a state level campaign and we provided local people, local messages, local photos into that campaign. In terms of the Drink Water You Mob campaign, which was a partnership with VATCHO, as I mentioned, our role was to provide reach and raise awareness in Gippsland, while VATCHO's role was to provide the statewide coordination and messaging, deliver the resources, provide merchandise. They provided prizes for the competitions that were run, as well as a television commercial. So some of the things that we lacked in our own campaigns were provided through VATCHO, but we were able to do that messaging on the ground. This was an example of a weekly schedule, so we had where we were going to put our major messages. We had a bit of a structure to that process. And overall there you can see there that Deadly Sport Gippsland provided close to 30 to 40% or 30% of the people reached came from our Deadly Sport Gippsland page, which again was great, and it certainly provided that local content. So these were some of the photos that came through as a part of the competition. Just quickly, competitions are a great way to engage people. They make sure people are actually hearing and understanding the messages you're putting forward, and that community content probably drives the messaging far better than what we can do ourselves. So competitions have been a key strategy of engagement within the community. Here's a couple of health videos that I mentioned before that we wanted to show you. A couple of samples here, so we'll play some of these. So not a bad little video there. And here's another one.
Hi all, Cyril here from Primco Testing System. Water is a great way of staying healthy and hydrated, and make sure it's your choice of drink. Drink water, you mob.
So it was a good opportunity there to actually get Cyril Rioli involved with the program and use his celebrity status, I guess, to promote a health message as well. This one was a bit of fun.
How does it happen? You can get it walking. You can get it talking. Or running down the court to score. You sure got a thirst. And a hard-earned thirst needs a big cold water. And the best cold water is from the tap. Choose tap. You know that. You can get it having a roll, or kicking a goal, or just spectating in a crowd. You sure got a thirst. Water is low on fizz when you're long on thirst. Got thirst, water first. It can come at any time. You're catching a wave or in a close shave. As a matter of fact, I got it now. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold water. Reduce your sugary drinks and drink water. Choose healthy, choose tap. And drink water, you mob.
So again, another little good video there, and hopefully you can pick the music and the bit of a takeoff there. Another campaign that we just wanted to quickly go over was the Get Checked campaign that we did with the Gippsland Primary Health Network. So we partnered with them. They provided the marketing material for GPs and the community, also provided advice and guidance and part of the strategy around getting the campaign running. Our campaign looked at social media, obviously, looked at videos that we did online, looked at competitions. We did a competition around Yarn My Journey and the Plank Out for 10 campaign, which we'll show you a little bit of in a minute. And as well as that, a bit of a change your profile pic. So for those on Facebook, you could change your picture there and actually have this template inserted over your Facebook photo. Again, we had a bit of a campaign here with what we were going to do in terms of interviews, the actions, stories that we were going to put out in terms of a story competition, the change of profile picture, and then we also allocated some prizes of weekly prizes of $25 here for the Plank Out for 10 challenge, and then $100 down here for the Yarn My Journey. So that was all mapped out, as well as our themes for each of the weeks during the campaign over the 3 months. Here's a couple of sample videos.
Hi guys, it's Lisa from Deadly Sport Gippsland. Today we're down at the Surfing Comp and Community Day down at Cape Conran, and we're going to interview a few of the community members to talk about the 715 health checks and just to see how many of them have been having these of late. So let's go and have a yarn. When was the last time you've had a 715 health check?
Probably 6 months ago, I'd reckon. I'll probably due for another checkup.
You've recently had one with Leha.
Yeah, it was. I went in there thinking I was time to get a checkup. You know, when you started seeing all the commercials on TV where they're talking about once you're over a certain age, then you start getting a checkup.
And yeah, have you had yours at all?
No.
No. Do you yourself have one, Sarah?
No, I haven't yet, but I am going to go get one soon.
That's all right. And do your children have their health checks?
Yeah, they do. They've had them every year for the last 4 years.
That's good. Do you do them yearly? Like, do you keep a regular?
Yeah.
And how have you found them so far?
They're really good actually. They don't take too much time. It's probably half an hour with the health workers and half an hour with the doctor, so it's not inconvenient and fix up anything that might be wrong or.
When was your last 715?
Okay, my last 715 was about a year ago. It's Leha in Lakes Entrance. I think it's important that everyone in the Aboriginal community get down and get a 715 health check. You start off, I suppose, with your blood pressure, you measure your weight, your height, all that kind of stuff, and then you go on to see a GP.
So you've got young children. Do they get their health checks regularly?
Yes, I have a Madison who is 5, and she's regularly at my work getting a health check. She just likes to get them anyway.
She enjoys it.
Yeah, she loves it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I have been to the dentist.
They like to go in and get their eyes checked and their ears checked, and just to know that, for myself, to know that, they're growing the way that they should be, and that's important to me.
Do you find that they take a lot of time, or do you find that, it's quite easy to move through the process?
The staff at Leha are absolutely fantastic. Through from the senior health workers to the clinicians that they have in there once or twice a week. And they really take their time, and they get down, they ask you a lot of relevant information. It's obviously relevant for yourself, for your health. They do a really good, thorough job.
Fairly easy, just a little bit nervous to getting the blood taken.
Never the fun part. Never the fun part.
But I said check everything.
Yeah.
I want to know. I feel my body starting to, the wear and tear of the body and starting to break down a bit. So I thought get everything checked.
Is there anyone else that you think might encourage to have their health checks done as well, like any other family members or community members?
I think for myself, working with the teenagers, I think that there's a gap there. It's always the young ones and the older. So I think the teenagers should get out there and get their health checks done.
Do you think it would be a great idea?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
The best thing for you is to go and see, a doctor or someone who's. We have nurses at work that you go and go. Look, I'm getting a bit more weight on. I'm feeling sick all the time. Go and see them, have a talk to them, and then they might put you on some sort of a program.
You should get your health checks done because it'll pick up early, like detects early hearing, if your eyes are not right, if your teeth aren't right. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good for your education and your health as well.
Regardless of what age, go and get a health check. It's worthwhile. It's a little bit like people service their car more than they service their body.
Yeah, we can't check our mileage as much as we can write the numbers on the
That's
cars
right.
for us and say, come back when you've hit this number.
There's no dipstick to say how's your blood levels going.
No.
Talking with doctors and nurses and all that, it put me back on track, and it's
So we'll be seeing you soon getting your health check done.
Definitely.
You get everything checked and you peace of mind.
Oh, good. We'll hopefully see you soon. You hopefully get a health check next time. We can have a yarn about how it was.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I think it's very, very important for everybody, but more so in the Aboriginal community, if they attend a 715 health check.
they're explaining to you how you're going to survive longer.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So to make a positive lifestyle choice,
Yep.
get your annual health checks.
So it was a bit long, but you get the message there. One of the other campaigns that we ran was the Plank Out for 10 challenge, and this was around encouraging people to hold a plank for as long as they could for each day for 10 consecutive
Hi guys, it's Lisa
days.
from Deadly Sport Gippsland, and today I'm yarning with you about our Plank Out for 10 challenge. We're kicking off on the 1st of Feb with a group from across Gippsland who wanted to be the first to take up our challenge.
We might leave that one there, and you can watch some of these. This was some of the examples of people that actually did this. So Alice here.
Hey my peeps, this is me joining in on the planking challenge to raise awareness for our mob to get their 715 health checks. I'm not very good at it, but I'll give it a go, you know me. If it's good for the mob, I'll have a go. So after this I'll nominate Scotty King, Dooka Pepper and Shane O'Shaughnessy. Okay, let's do it.
So while Alice is doing that, we actually did, down here you can see a bit of a script that we put together around the fact that Aboriginal people live for 10 plus years less than non-Aboriginal people, and provide some stats there and a bit of a shout out to what people can do for this process. We might leave Alice there, and we'll move on to the next slide. This was another one that was really well done.
Hey there everyone, here I'm on your screen to talk about the Plank Out for 10 challenge, which is an initiative aimed at raising the awareness of the huge gap in life expectancy of Aboriginal Australians and the broader community. Plank Out for 10 is for everyone to enjoy and have fun, and anyone can participate. All you have to do is hold a plank for as long as you can, and then do the same for the next 9 days, and try and beat your time from the day before. Challenge your family and friends to try and beat your times. It's about having fun, but at the same time raising awareness. I was nominated for the challenge by my beautiful wife Belinda, whom I'm sure you all know is a beautiful and proud Kurnai woman. I'm sure you will all agree that there is nothing more important than the health and well-being of your special someone and your children. So while I'm not comfortable going all blogger on you, I feel it'd be a little hypocritical of me not to jump on board. Did you know that Aboriginal people live for 10 plus years less than non-Aboriginal people? That's an average of 71, opposed to 81, with the leading causes being heart disease, diabetes, respiratory disease and cancer. Well, what can you do? If you're an Aboriginal person, you can get your annual 715 health check and encourage your loved ones to do the same. As non-Aboriginal people, we can spread the word about the huge gap in life expectancy, and in doing so encourage governments to continue to support funding to Aboriginal health programs aimed at improving the overall health of Aboriginal people.
So you get the idea. Justin says it really well. He obviously had his own script there and probably said it better than us, but it was around certainly raising the awareness there of the life expectancy gap. Over the course of the Plank Out for 10 challenge, we only sort of measured it here for the first 10 days. Some of these figures in here, we can't see how many numbers of views they reached on their videos due to privacy settings, but these are certainly people that we know did it over the first 10 days. There was 113 videos created and 33,000 views watched of that. Now, it went on for a little bit longer than that. It did fizzle out. We didn't quite get the reach, obviously, of some of those campaigns out there like the Ice Bucket Challenge, but that was a little bit what it was modelled on. But obviously it raised awareness and certainly got the message out there about the 715s and about the life expectancy gap as well. And again, it created content from community members and not so much from us. Another campaign or another competition we ran as part of the Get Check campaign was this Yarn My Journey competition. We gave $100 away each week, as it says there, for people to participate in this. And basically what we wanted them to do was to tell their health journey of what they went through in terms of getting their 715 health check and post that video on Facebook. So we had a number of those and used the hashtag there. So we'll move on to this. This was a great video here that was created. We only had 4 videos that occurred during this campaign, and we gave them each $100, but a really small investment for something that had a huge reach here. So this one here itself, when this screenshot was taken, had 989 views. And again, a community elder.
My name is Sarah Morgan, and I'm an elder, a respected elder, of this community. And I recently had my 715 Aboriginal health check. 715 don't mean just a health check in general, it means an overall health check. They do everything. Okay? I got my health check done because of my age, as I wanted to live a lot longer and look after myself. Okay? My health check is very important to me, and Dr. Vidia at the co-op is a bonus to the clinic. An Aboriginal health worker, Marinda, explains to me the benefits of having my 12 monthly health checks. If I'm having difficulty in understanding the benefits, before having my health check, I thought I had my diabetes under control. But after I had the health check done, Dr. Vidia had referred me to an eye specialist, and they told me I had a dot beyond my eye. So I encourage other community members to get their 715 Aboriginal health check done, as we need to look after ourselves. So thank you, everybody, and please go along and do that.
So you can see there that it was done by a community elder. Great to see someone getting involved. Obviously had some support there by Central Gippsland Aboriginal Health Service. It had 15 shares. We saw the views close to 1,000. So great, to get the community involved in that as well. So we've gone there. The other campaigns that we're involved with through that process was the Beef Smoke Free Pledge, where we actually encourage people to put in on their website a pledge of whether they went smoke free for a day, for a week or for a month, and that was around World No Tobacco Day. We also ran a range of challenges like the Map My Walks challenge, where we used that app for people to actually record their walks on there, and we had prizes for people that walked the longest, as well as those that walked the most in terms of most consecutive days and things like that. So have certainly tried a range of campaigns over that time. Some of the challenges for us just moving forward from that is, that we're trying to be everything, and we're only 2 staff, so we don't reach the 10 mark on all these things. So we probably should have done our graph inside a little bit here. Formative work has been something that we've been lacking. A little bit around the health promotion work, in terms of the messaging, etc., has been something that's been a challenge. The evaluation was great that we had evaluators in, but on a weekly and campaign basis, we don't always meet the target of evaluating what we're doing effectively. So you can see here we do a whole range of things like the graphic design, video production, and where there's only 2 of us. So, we try and meet all these things, but this is a challenge to us, and we're certainly looking at greater partnerships there to meet some of those. As I said, the lack of formative work and the campaign designs, etc., was something that we stronger links with partnerships with statewide campaigns and local health organisations will be something that we could certainly do and would certainly help in that space. So we're aiming at the moment to try and build stronger links with ACCHOs and primary health providers locally, and also to build stronger links with state and national health campaigns. So we're going through that process at the moment to develop partnership agreements and MOUs with a number of those agencies to try and strengthen those relationships going forward, and thus strengthen the outcomes of our health messages as well. We're also really keen to have a more coordinated and consistent health messaging approach, and we're trying to look at ways of getting Gippsland people together to actually work on similar campaigns, so that if someone walks into an ACCHO, they will see a message on the 715s, and they will see it on our social media, and those 2 messages will marry, they'll be similar, and they'll be targeted at similar people, etc. So where we work really well is certainly at the moment we're providing, and this is a sales funnel in terms of looking at where people sit within that. We sit really well within that awareness area, but what we need to do is move people through that process that they actually make change in their life as well. So working with statewide health campaigns is probably central to that. The campaigns are well developed, they've been tested, they've had the formative work done. We can provide that local awareness and local content. We then obviously want to move people, as I said, through that process so that they actually commit to behaviour change, they access local services, and then ideally then they become ambassadors for health in their communities. And again, we can provide some content around some ambassadors and do videos with people that want to help us promote those messages as well. So we need to move people through that channel, and we can only do that with stronger partnerships at state and local level. Over the next 6 months, and this is probably less now, this is probably the next 3 months, we certainly want to develop a stronger health promotion strategy for 2018 to 2021. We're currently going through processes of community consultation and focus groups. We've got, during October, we've got meetings around Gippsland with community people. We're currently meeting with ACCHOs, and we're currently meeting with statewide health services as well. As I said, we're looking at setting up a Aboriginal Health Task Force or something similar, where we can actually get some of the health promotion workers involved in developing campaigns alongside us. We can take the role online, they can take that in their own organisations, and maybe some of the channels and social media channels that they've got as well. We're keen to develop MOUs with ACCHOs and provide that greater connection with the activities that ACCHOs are doing and what we do online. As I've said already, build the links with statewide and national campaigns. We're certainly conducting some evaluation surveys at the moment, and we're continuing to provide our presence on social media through some current campaigns as well. So that's currently where we're at, but certainly taking stock of trying to plan and trying to build on what we've already done in the past. Just some quick acknowledgements there. Obviously, Tim Owen was one of the driving forces behind this program getting started. We had the Australian Catholic University that have actually done the research on the paper, and some consultants such as Francis that actually helped us do a presentation in Cairns at one of the 14th Rural Health Network meeting, and our program staff, so Lisa Williams and Karina Crutch, who have both been active in the program, and now Sharon Kingerby's joined us to help us through this consultation phase. As I said, there's more information available on our Deadly Sport website, but you can also go and get those evaluation reports there from the GippSport website, which is gippsport.com.au. And we'd just like to thank you for your time, and hopefully this presentation was great. If you need to contact us, please look at those websites, and we're available to answer any questions via email. My email is david@gippsport.com.au, and certainly please feel free to send me an email. And I hope this presentation has answered some questions about Deadly Sport Gippsland, and provided some evidence about what our achievements and successes have been. So thank you.